We started on the project John Wick way back in February when Thunder Road had come to us with a script they'd like us to look at for the second unit in the action design. It had a lot of gunfighting, cars, and fights. I was currently working with Keanu Reeves on Man of Tai Chi.
I sent the script to Chad and Dave, originally thinking of the action for the film. In the back of my mind, I thought that it would be to their taste. And I know that Chad and David were looking for a project to direct. So I didn't know how that was going to go, but I kind of presented it.
We went to Keanu first and we pitched him and said, look, we would like to go in and pitch for the directing job. And he was like ecstatic.
And I was like, yes.
He was excited about that. He's like, I would love it if you guys wanted to do that.
We had a good conversation about him about what we thought the movie should be. He seemed to vibe very well with that. Through him and our management, we managed to set up a meeting with Thunder Road.
It was time for them to take the helm. They went and pitched their ideas, and Basil loved it, I loved it. They've been cutting and storyboarding and pre-vising and putting choreography, being storytellers. So this is what they have to be doing.
It's cool to see Chad and Dave direct the drama, direct anything but the action. I think that that's the biggest hurdle for second unit directors to get over.
But when we first read Derek's script, it caught our eye because it was odd and it was simple, almost scary simple, with the gold coins and all the different characters. So each character, even though they may only have a line or half a page, we wanted those to stand out.
We paid way more attention to the drama and to the storyline and to the performances because we felt as first-time filmmakers we're going to be judged by that. And also, an action movie without a good storyline is pointless.
Yes, John fights. Yes, John shoots guns. Yes, he drives a car. Is there any groundbreaking, insane stunt work that has cars doing things? No, but I think some of the things we did are clever, and I think they're creative, and I think they're good. But our focus was always trying to do something filmically different, not stunt different.
The way that they've thought about action was always story, story, story. They've been watchdogging that from day one and trying to bring out all of the emotion that is in this piece.
It was very important to us that we find great character actors, or great actors that we want to put in these characters, that would stand out.
You know, if you're looking to heal and keep it marginal.
We also like facial recognition. Even though you may not know the name of some of these people, you would recognize them, oh my God, I love that guy, he's great. And we wanted that in every little role we could find.
You want the whole story, the whole ensemble to live and breathe and to be, you know, alive. In the direction that we went with my involvement, I was just looking to put all of the pieces together.
Mostly people want to work with Keanu. He's a big deal. And he's a great actor and a gracious actor. When actors find out it's a Keanu Reeves movie, they know that it's a legitimate movie and there's going to be people working their ass off to make it special. The script read-through was a fun experience for Chad and I, but it was also nerve-wracking, I think. We were a little intimidated. We had a lot of talented people in the room.
Reroll?
Yeah, it's gotten really quiet. Well, seems like the appropriate time.
Yes.
And we were waiting to see how everyone was going to gel.
Every single person there is a phenomenal actor. And even though everybody's super friendly, it's still nerve-wracking. You know what I mean?
Riley's punching into the man's leg and he got doubling him over. As Vigo and Miss Perkins dive for cover, Marcus kills the second gunman.
You have like this amazing group of people who are just actually, it felt like a family immediately. It wasn't weird, it wasn't uncomfortable, it was just like kind of set the bar for where we're gonna head with the movie.
As the third fires into Marcus, a half-dozen rounds slamming into his chest. Silence. And Vigo stands, stunned. Marcus chuckles.
When you're looking for projects to do, you always want to be involved with projects that have a particularity, have a passion, have a history. I think that's what really attracted me.
Basil Iwanyk, the producer, said, man, this is such a violent script, and Keanu clapped his hands and leaned back. He's like, but it could be so much more violent.
We can still kill more.
There's always room for more.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we were super excited, and so was the cast. Everyone was like, oh, okay, I get it. This is fun.
Francis.
The typical deal. Are you here on business, sir?
Afraid so, Francis. Good evening, Mr. Wick.
I had written this role for a man with no name type movie. And even though John Wick knows in every scene, he doesn't say a lot. He doesn't have a lot of lines, but the one he says, they're the ones that just reverberate throughout. They're the ones that are actually moving the story forward.
John is definitely a symbol of duality, say between what people have to endure and what people want to endure. John has many things that he does endure. And John has a couple things that he doesn't want to endure, and I think we all have those things.
I always thought of it as being kind of Old Testament in a revenge kind of way. But when people take things from you that you treasure and love, there's a violence that erupts. And John doesn't temper his violence. Once that switch flips in John, there's no turning back.
You stole his car and killed his fucking dog.
Rather than try and do your stereotypical badass assassin that goes on a rampage, we thought we'd try to make it a bit more tender.
Keanu is uniquely empathetic as an actor.
Keanu brings a more emotional side to most of the roles he does. He's never played something that's hard as nails or the absolute terminator of killers. He's always got a more humanistic side to him.
And it's hard to pull that in any other direction, which was great for Wick, because we could create this guy who is a monster, but likable. The way Keanu's playing it, you never lose that empathy for his mission, no matter how scary or ruthless he is.
I'm a big fan of Keanu. He's a very talented man. That definitely made it really inviting, that I was gonna have my scenes with him.
Put a contract on John Wick.
How much?
2 million. Lisa Leitch primarily.
We went through so many casting meetings about casting Viggo. All our Russian cast members, all American, everybody that could play the stereotypical Russian bad guy.
Thunder Road brought up Michael Nyqvist. We knew his work in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but in his American films, there was never like great references of like him doing monologues, and Viggo has tons of dialogue.
And you, my son.
But if I say like this, and then, like it's still in the story, and then, you, my son. Is that okay?
You know, between the combination of American, Swedish, and Russian accent that he had.
There you go. English, please. Stay, goddammit!
Plus his mannerisms, and he came at it with a really different kind of angle that we thought was, oh, that'd be interesting.
It's fantastic. And they're very open-minded. Also, they want to be surprised. It's a great thing.
Michael had come to us one time, I think Viggo should be smoking a joint right here, and we should be doing, like, whoa, what, Michael, what are you doing? Well, you smoking one? And you're like, well, wait a minute, I think that could be, and we rolled the scene around that and kind of get it, and maybe that's what he's doing with that, and we kind of liked it. It was wacky, and it fit.
And it is one of these little small character things that it just adds that flavor.
Hello, mate. Innit? He's doing his in my face, eh? Yeah. Alfie's really dangerous.
John's insulted by this character played by Alfie Allen named Yosef.
Yosef looks around and spots John's car. Interested, he walks over.
Nice ride. How much?
She's not for sale. Yosef chuckles with a shake of his head as he takes a single step closer to John.
Everything's got a price, bitch.
The role of Yosef was really tricky. How do you find a younger guy that you won't feel bad when he gets shot in the head, but yet doesn't really do anything really that bad, at least on screen, but still gives a sense that this guy deserves it? It was a tricky little role, trickier than you'd think.
Alfie Allen was someone that had been pitched to us, and then Chad had done a little research, and he's like, you know what, I think this kid would be great. We together watched a bunch of his stuff, and we're like, you know what, he'd be good.
We met Alfie, great actor, really nice young man.
Yeah, Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones, working with him was great. He plays Viggo's son, Yosef Tarasov. And he was a blast to work with. He plays such a great little, you know, entitled little brat.
And can just turn it on to be such a prick. So that kind of grabbed their eye. Willem is a very strong personality. He's a very professional man. He's a very educated actor.
Willem, in the script read-through, afterwards comes up to us and he's like, you know, I'm thinking before Viggo shows up to offer me the contract, I want to be making a juice. And I'm like, why do you want to be making juice? And he's like, well, I'm a little older than the other assassins and I'm trying to keep up and I'm a fitness guy and I'm one of those guys that just is super healthy because I got to keep my edge. To have those type of actors as first-time directors is invaluable because they're bringing this, obviously, years of knowledge and they're bringing things to their character that you would have never, ever thought to add.
Adrienne Palicki, she was fantastic. We needed that little bit of sexy naughtiness, but at the same time, something with a physicalness that somebody that you just want to stand up and cheer when she kind of gets it.
When a female shows up, Miss Perkins is badass.
The Miss Perkins character played by Adrian was actually a male character, and it was Chad and mine idea to not only to get more women in the movie, but to create a female action character that was authentic and that felt for real. We wanted to create this fight that you believe this woman could come in and give John Wick a run for his money.
I became involved with John Wick. I actually had this script sent to me. Chad and David, I Skyped with them before accepting the role, and they really wanted to have a meeting with me because part of the offer was that, I would be willing to do some of my own stunts. And I'm always all for that.
She and I have a great fight, a nice little scene together. She's pretty wicked, but she's fighting John Wick. She doesn't stand a chance.
But I let myself in.
When you start to shoot, it takes a strong will to keep your project on track. It develops a life of its own, suddenly becomes something a little different due to performances or due to, the emotional content or changes in the production. It's very easy to see how a lot of productions go off course and become different films. I think at the end of the day is just, can you sit somebody down for 96 minutes? Can you put our little touch of urban mythology on it? And can we entertain you and just go, wow, I didn't waste 2 hours of my life. To me, that's the most important thing. Did you see something slightly different that entertained you? I don't know, I'd be pretty happy if that were the case.